What is up, guys? Trying this different way this time, so let's see. See how many people we get to join here. Should have had this up a little bit higher. Let me try something here. That's sort of better. What is up, guys? What's going on? Let's see who joined. Vitus Garage Auto Blog. What has been going on with everyone today? Let's see if I can get some people to join here. It's Wednesday. I don't know if you guys feel like I don't know where the week went. So let's see what's going on. What's everyone been up to this week? And wrench. Oh, cool. It kept you as the moderator. Sweet. What's going on, man? Freaking week is flying. It's crazy. I finally cleaned my garage, so it actually looks better in here. And I got the other T-Bird, drove it out, so that was pretty cool. And the tail shaft is leaking, so that's not cool. But I don't think I have to replace the whole transmission. I think I can replace just the tail shaft. I'm hoping. So I actually drove the other T-Bird around the block just a little bit and quickly kind of figured out the transmission was leaking a substantial amount. So went to pull it back in the driveway, and I Charlotte Jane, and yeah, it needed more transmission fluid. So it got in the driveway, but not much farther. So that's where it sits right now. I think that tail shaft should be able to get fixed. Pretty sure. So what's everyone up to today? So someone asked me if I would ever buy an electric car. The answer is no. Does anyone else got some feedback on electric cars? Last time I did this live, I felt like it had a lot more viewers faster. But what are you up to? What are you guys up to this week? Let's see. So the T-Bird, this one. That's right. I don't like EVs, man. I really don't. I've driven. Let's see. I drove the Tesla. I don't know which model. They all look the same. And I drove the Audi e-tron. The Audi e-tron was pretty freaking cool. That was actually a really cool car. But not buying an electric car. They do have an impressive amount of torque. That I'll give them. But it's electric, so of course it has torque. Yeah, I think I've said it before. My buddy has a Tesla, and I just don't see the quality. And they ask a lot of money for the freaking things. It's kind of insane. So, radio nerding out. Yeah. I really get into talk radio these days, actually. So this car, the white T-Bird, I actually got new hubcaps for it. Did you see those? So I kind of dig them. They're a little bit different than the other ones. Let's see, the other ones are hanging up right there, over there, there. Yeah, it's hard to see backwards. So that was pretty cool. I blew the rear end out in the truck, which I think I mentioned, and pretty cool shop. You might look it up on social media, but it's yeah, it was pretty cool. Hyped Motor Co. is the company. So they replaced the rear end. Wasn't super cheap. Just kind of wasn't thrilled about it. But anyway, I got the rear end replaced. And when I went to pick up the truck, he's like, "Hey man, I got this T-Bird," because it's really a hot rod shop. He's like, "I got these T-Bird hubcaps," and I'm like, "Oh, those are pretty freaking sweet, the ones that are on the T-Bird." And he's like, "Yeah, I have no use for them, and we're putting some hopped up wheels on this thing." So they've got a Fairlane. I guess they came in with T-Bird hubcaps or something. I don't know. But he's like, "Yeah, you can have them." I'm like, "Do you know what you have?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know what I have." Okay, fair enough. So yeah, so I put those on there. They're not perfect. I think my other hubcaps were a little bit better in some ways, but I like this style so much more. And the red centers, I don't think you can fix that when they're bad, and those are in really good shape. So the black has a couple spots on it I got to touch up still. So yeah, and then I got the Mercedes done, which ironically, amazingly, was all covered under warranty, including a rental car. So that was cool. So I've been driving the Mercedes around like crazy. I even drove it to Phoenix last week, and it's crazy because it's getting incredible gas mileage. That's the diesel SUV that I have, and it's getting stellar gas mileage. I could not be happier. I've been all over the planet last couple weeks, and so that's helped a lot actually. My truck does okay, but the Mercedes is averaging 35 to 40 miles a gallon right now. So I'm like, that's freaking sweet. Um, yeah. So anyway, just been working like freaking crazy. Um, yeah, the EVs though, the Audi seemed to make a much better EV than the Tesla, but I guess that's a hybrid. I'm not sure if it's a. I'd have to Google it. Um, yeah, I'd have to Google to see. But that thing was actually, I felt like it was actually a quality vehicle. But those batteries on those things have to be freaking expensive. So, um, yeah, what projects you guys got going on right now? Been actually hitting the gym really hard, so that's been cool. I kind of made like a commitment to like double my efforts everywhere: work, home, gym, just F sleep, work harder. I already feel like I work pretty hard, but just take it to the next level. So I've been pushing hard. It's been nice. Just drink more coffee. Well, I've got one, two viewers. How many other people are on? Is that accurate? You guys think? It says I have one viewer, but there's two people on. It's kind of interesting. The last time I did a live, I actually had uh, a bunch of haters on me right away. That was freaking funny. Actually, really funny. So yeah, so I got to drive the other T-Bird a little bit, and that other that new T-Bird I got is really fun. I mean, when they're in that like dilapidated stage, you can't mess them up. It's really fun. A new step bars to add to the Tacoma. Right on. God, those are cool trucks. I would love to have one of those trucks. They're perfect for out in the woods, right? A little smaller. I put these kid wheels on my F-150, and I love the way they look, but my turning radius is garbage. It's completely not good. It's not even. It's not even useful. I tried to. I'll give you an idea. So I was taking the kids around the block to check out the Halloween decorations that everyone's doing, and just where it's the end of the cul-de-sac and it's got the little circle in the end of the street, my truck could not make that circle. I had to back up and go forward. I'm like, all right, well, I still like the way they look, so I'm going to deal with it. And who really needs to do a tight turning radius in Arizona? Because they're kid wheels. They're not really off-roading wheels, so I'll just be straight up about it, you know. Have you taken that thing off-road at all? I like those Tacoma trucks. They never die. I wonder how does YouTube share the live? Like, does it just go out to everybody, or is it trying to see if I can get this thing rolling? But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I was laughing with somebody the other day because you don't actually have to spend a bunch of money on these cars to enjoy them. You know, there's a guy who's telling me like, oh, those old cars got to be like, he was kind of shit talking, and I'm like, you know what? Like, these things, they don't cost crap compared to a lot of project cars. I like the T-Birds because they're not that popular. It's like, if I was into CUDAs more or something, I'd have to spend a lot more money just to get something similar. But what's your guys' favorite old car? I know this is a T-Bird YouTube, but I'm sure there's more other fans out there. What's your guys' favorite muscle car? We did that last time, but I'm a big fan of a lot of the Camaros. I like the 60s Mustangs. I know they're way overplayed, but they're fun cars. 69 Camaro, hell yeah. It's pretty badass. I love those GTOs, but you don't really see them that often. I don't know. I'm hoping because it's starting to cool off a little bit. I'm hoping you're going to start seeing some of these cars more because out in Arizona, it's starting to get to be muscle car weather, you know? I'm excited for that. There's been a lot of like, I don't know, they're not car meet or car shows. I guess it's called a meet, right? Where it's like they've got cars and coffee. That's pretty cool. I like going to that one. They've got the one at the Lawn Cantata Mall. They got the one at Top Golf. They've got, let's see, my allergies are killing me today. They've got, I guess there's one at Home Depot over by Crown. But yeah, the car scene in Tucson is sweet. I love that part. Oh yeah, the cash for clunkers. I forgot about that crap. Yeah. Destroying cars just for the sport of it. What a joke. That was really sad, actually, you know? I don't know what the allergies are like where you guys are at, but it's been bad here today. I don't know what it is. Seems like it's bad in Arizona today. Um, Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. So trying to get trying to get more time to just I want to start actually going to more um, car events in Tucson. I really enjoy that, and it's really fun. I really like taking this car. There's no other ones like it in Tucson, so that's pretty fun for me. I go with Chris, who's part of that um, Hype Garage, Hype Motor Co. He does a lot in the car community, so I like when he goes. That's one of my buddies. I went one time with Oscar, another buddy of mine here in town. But it's fun when you go with other car guys. It's a lot more fun that way. But we got a lot of cool cars in Tucson. The only thing is, it's like it's cool when you see new, fresh stuff. Because if you go to a few of them, you'll kind of see all of them. It's like the same group of people that go to all of them. Like there's only so many Ferraris in Tucson, let's be real, that actually go to the shows. It's usually the same five guys. But it's still, I mean, it's cool, but it's cool when you can get a mix of other cars, you know? But yeah, if any of my family ever comes to Tucson, I'm definitely taking them to some of that car stuff because there is some pretty cool stuff going on. Yeah. So, what else you guys been working on? You guys had any fun projects going on? I'm not sure why. Sometimes it has more traction on the viewers compared to others because I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah. So, hey, Gordy, join. How you doing, man? We're talking about. So Gordy is my buddy that's got a Tesla, so he's definitely EV. Uh, and I'm Mr. V8, but you know, yeah. So the 63, I haven't really done much to it except for drive it, but it's interesting because if I put a new carburetor on it, it'd probably drive fantastic. Actually, Gordy's a huge car guy. I'm not giving him enough credit. He's a big Porsche guy. What other cars have you had, Gordy? I know you've had quite a few. He's a big Chevy guy. I know that. Um, yeah, so, but basically, I want to kind of get 69 67 Camaro. I'd have to Google those body styles. I'm not, they're really close, 69, 67, right? Or are they the same body style? I feel like most of the old Camaros were just freaking sweet. I love those things. Honestly, any old muscle car I'm pretty down with. Um, I love old Porsches. I've never really driven that many of them. I had my mom had the girl version, as they say, the Boxer. I got to drive that. That was pretty cool. And then when I worked at Crown years ago, I got to drive a souped up Porsche, and it was freaking sweet. Actually, a couple of them, a couple of Porsches. 67 and 68 were close. 67 had the wing windows. Oh, okay. Yeah, so pretty close. I'm sure it's the body style I'm thinking of. Uh, I'm not as good with the years on Camaros because I am a big Ford nut, admittedly, but I like the split bumper Camaros a lot. I really like that body style. I don't know, man. Come on, Gordy. You know everyone calls them the girl version. It was a fun car. I mean, I didn't drive it that much, but the one time I got my mom to let me drive it, I I drove it responsibly for sure, but I did put a little emphasis into the throttle, and it gripped pretty good. It was pretty good. I don't know. I mean, the 911 is just such a monster, right? What's up, Oscar? How you doing, man? Yeah, so I was on this live. I was like, I'm gonna start inviting all my car buddies on here because wasn't getting enough, but this is cool. It's funny because I know all you guys love cars like I do. So let's see. Gordy's saying they had to defund them because they would have beat the 911. Oh, detune them. I don't know. Would they? I mean, the traction is. You're gonna have to dumb that down for me, homie. So the 911, a Boxer beating a 911, is that because the weight to power ratio, better grip, mid-engine rocks? All right, fair enough. I know Oscar's got that. So Oscar has a pretty cool project car that we need to go get. But to be honest, guys, I'm kind of wondering if the reason I blew the rear end out of my truck is because I was hauling that T-Bird with that trailer. It pulled it no problem, and my truck does have a lot of miles, but I don't know how long does it go before you need to replace the rear end gears in an F-150. How many miles do you guys think that takes? Oscar, yeah, I picked up that 63 like, gosh, a month or two ago, pretty recent. Basically, shut up, Corey, smartass. Ford towing a Ford, something's got to break. Well, Oscar, you guys are a bunch of Chevy guys, you know? Everyone on here, I think, is actually a Chevy guy, which is fine. But I don't know, man. I love the Pontiacs. I'd be if I wasn't a Ford guy so much, I'd probably have a Pontiac sitting behind me. But I'm not rich, so get what I get. Yeah, so I don't know. I towed that thing back, and it towed pretty good. You guys can watch the video; it's on there. But yeah, that's a lot of weight for an F-150, I think. But I mean, what? The T-Bird weighs 5,500 pounds, I think. Guessing. And yes, I would have a 77 Trans Am. I've thought about that. I've really thought about that. I saw one on Marketplace a while back. Bryce sent it to me, and I was like, I would love to have that. But see, I'm not going to say how much. If anyone really wants to know, they can text me and I'll tell them. But that 63 was at a astronomical deal. Basically, trying to help the people out. It didn't really sell. Finally got to a point where it's like they didn't want to see it go to a junkyard or something, and they knew if they gave it to me or sold it to me at the right price, let's say, I would take care of it and rebuild it. And that's the plan. I really don't have any desire to get rid of that car. I hope I never have to, because I really enjoy that car. That's right, the Bandit. That guy was a legend, man. Burt Reynolds, he had some good movies. And he was funny. He was really funny. Guys, if you don't subscribe to my channel, subscribe, because I'm super close to hitting that 1,000 mark. I'm hoping, although I'll probably finally get the 1,000 mark, and then I'll get paid like 20 cents. I'm sure it's not going to be anything astronomical, because I just don't see that happening. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm trying to invite some of the other car buddies on here. I appreciate you guys for joining on. What's the buy me lunch first? Come on, Daddy Warbucks. We all know Gordy's a billionaire. Um, I'll buy you lunch, man. Yeah, I don't know. What's the if you only could drive one car for the rest of your life and you could never buy another one, what would you buy? And you had to daily it too. So regardless how that shapes up. Yeah, Oscar loves Taco Bell, guys. Fun fact, he's obsessed with Taco Bell. It's actually like a passion of his. He's got all the Taco Bell cups at his house. He's a big Taco Bell fan. I'm saying that because it's true. Um, you know what? The last few times I went to Taco Bell, it messed me up so bad. I had to stop. I can't eat there anymore. Like, it's really bad. And the one by the house, the last time we went in there with the kids, the littles, I always call them the teenagers and the littles. Last time I went in there with the teenagers, uh, or the littles, I mean, the manager was throwing F bombs, just screaming at his employees. And so I got up and I went up there. I was like, who's your boss? Because you don't talk to people like that. That is so not appropriate. And my son sitting there hearing you drop F bombs. So, yeah, that was pretty crazy. But definitely don't recommend the Taco Bell off Cortero unless you want to have, let's say, stomach aches. Oscar, you know you love Taco Bell. So we went to Taco Bell. Oscar says it was his first time. They even took photos with him. It was awesome. I like Taco Bell food though, man. I can't help it. I grew up on the garbage. You know what I mean? It's just it's just cool. So yeah. So basically the 63, what I want to do to it, this is the 64, right? The 63, the other one I got. What I want to do to it is I want to paint it silverish blue or silver. I'm pretty much going to keep the engine the way it is, let's say. And when it blows up one day, because it will, I'll do kind of like a similar rebuild that I did with Ghost. I do want to put some like Kelsey Hayes wire wheels on it with the wide whites, maybe lower it. And I think I want to put a hidden stereo, but like a bumping stereo on that thing. Just because it does have AC, but it doesn't have the compressor. So I really want to get that AC working in the other car. If I could get the 63 AC going, all this stuff kind of worked out on it, man, I would drive that thing pretty often. I mean, if you got AC in an old car out here, you're doing all right. I'll probably have to put a heat sink on the fuel line. Oscar, your truck. You still haven't painted that thing, bro? Let's do it. Oscar's got an old square body truck. It's pretty cool. He put a stereo on that thing that rattled the windows off. What gets 8 miles per gallon, homie? Which one? Square body Chevy? I know. Gordy doesn't buy gas anymore. So there's that. The 63 with AC. You know what, Oscar? That is a perfect excuse to go get that project car, bring back to life. Just get towing insurance on it and then tow it home. No, that's not the right thing to do. Don't do that. But no, you should actually get that car. That would be actually pretty kick ass. Yeah, that would be pretty rad. So I don't know. $2,000 for a new one? No. transmission, homie? Is that what we're talking about? So, fun fact, we've got that '05 Mustang. I don't know why I'm pointing, it's not in the frame. And I needed a transmission for that car. It took me a couple weeks, but a few $100. So basically what I did is I just waited until I found someone parting out a Mustang. I was searching all over the place. I searched junkyards. There was a couple junkyards that had them. But what kills me is I'm not going to sacrifice work time to do that, to go get a part. Because I don't know. But so I never had time to actually go get it. So I would call, and Mustangs get stripped out of car, junkyards here super fast. And the '05s for some reason are really, really fast. So every time I'd find one, it'd be a couple $100, but people would strip those things so freaking fast. So finally I found one on Facebook that a woman was partying out, and my buddy went and picked it up for me. He actually took it out of the car, which was like, buddy, cool favor 1,000. Like this, like he saved my ass on it, to be honest. And then basically over the weekend, worked on it until 5 a.m. and swapped it out in the Mustang, and it's back on the road. The overdrive light is flashing. It drives fine, but that's driving me a little crazy. So I got to fix that still, but I think from my research, I think it's the transmission plug that's causing that. Moral of the story, Senior Oscar, probably find one for a few $100 if you did some hunting. 2,000's a lot. I mean, that's basically what they were quoting me, was somewhere in there. It was thousands. I remember that. One person quoted me for, I think the cheapest I found was 2, and then the junkyard stuff was like 1 to 5, $100. Anything else was in the 2,000 to 4,000. Right on, right on. Have a good one, Gordy. Let's see that. But yeah, guys. So, how many guys are working on their cars in the middle of the week? Oscar, you're working in your car. Are you still working in the restaurant industry? Senior, yes. Senior, no. Yeah, so basically it's 10 o'clock. It's kind of funny how many people go to bed super early. I used to be that way. Not anymore. But I don't think it's that late. You guys think it's that late? 30 minutes in. This little gauge for the people thing up here is not accurate. I know that because more people are commenting than it says are actually viewing. Unless everybody dropped off, which anything's possible. Yeah, let's see. So basically, all right, guys. What else is? Thank you for the likes. Yeah, so basically, with the 63, back to that. That's the whole point of T-Bird Lives. Basically, with that one, I got to fix the power steering. Firearms are badass. I just took out a new Smith & Wesson 44 mag. It's so fun. You know what? Since I've been in Arizona, I haven't been target shooting. I'm kind of bummed about it, actually. I haven't gotten rid of anything, but I take that back. We did some stuff with the kids, but yeah, I used to go all the time when I was back in Oregon, and I really miss it. But I haven't added to the collection either, which kind of sucks. I need to. And Smith & Wesson, that's a good 44. It's a good caliber, man. I think it would take down a bear. I don't know, man. Arizona is a wild west. I love that about Arizona. Everyone, guns, V8s, whiskey, cowboy stuff. What else? There's not a lot of trees. Actually, that's not true. If you go up in the forest, there's quite a bit. What do you guys think? What's everyone's favorite gun? Or what do you guys think is the best gun? Should ask that. Yeah, it's interesting because I love rifles. Rifles are just fun to shoot. Super fun. I haven't taken mine out in way too long though. Oscar, what are you gonna do with your truck, man? You gonna drive that thing, or are you just driving the little car right now, or what are you doing, man? If he's still on here. So last time I did this on my phone, I kind of changed it up this time. I think it's a lot easier to do the lives this way. So, well, yeah. I kind of wonder if on that old T-Bird that I got, if when I take the upholstery out, if I'm going to find a rat's nest underneath there. You know what's kind of cool? If you look on the underside of those seats, they usually have the, gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It's like the tag or the paper for the car. It actually had that, the build sheet, yes. And the headliner, yeah, the headliner in the 63, not the 64 behind me, but my 63, the headliner is completely ripped out. In the springs, yeah, I need to take my rear seat out. It's funny because the cushion in the back seat is completely fossilized. It's crunchy when you push on it. It's kind of funny, and the leather is definitely done, but it hasn't ripped somehow. So the back seat actually looks okay. And I put a gallon of leather cleaner conditioner on it, and it's presentable for now, I guess. But oh really? Yeah. See, I found the build sheet for the 64, and I actually took photos of it and left it in because the seat had like burned through the paper, and I really felt like if I tried to get it out, it was just going to destroy it. So I opted to keep it in, but I took photos of it and documented it and whatnot. But it's still in this car. It's still underneath the seat. The other car, I have not taken the seat out yet because I'm a little scared. It's probably, yeah, brittle, yeah, and it's kind of hard to get out. So that's why I kind of left it. But some of those 63s actually go for a lot of money. The recent Barrett Jacksons have gone for a lot of money. It's actually surprised at how well they've done recently. It's normally the roadsters, the convertibles, though. The 64, I saw one white go for $100,000, and I've seen a 63 roadster go for $100,000, and I know it did because my buddy over at the Bird's Nest was the one that sold it. It was a very rare coated car, full restoration. But yeah, it was It may have been more than that, actually. It was something really up there. I'll have to find it. I wanted it to say 200 grand. It was something like really up there. I remember when he told me, I about fell out of my chair. But yeah, it was the convertible, the Roadster with the correct, there's a VIN code that there's T-Bird nuts above my level that know these are the codes you want. I want to say it was Q code, but I'm sure that's wrong. Oh, they were tri-power? Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I would love to have a Roadster. I love the 63s, the body style with the taillights. They look really cool. I don't know if I've seen the Italian 63. Have to check that out. But I kind of like all T-Birds except for very few T-Birds I'm not like the biggest fan of. I even like the big when they got big. They look pretty cool. Oh, I do know which one you're talking about. The prototype. Yeah, I think it's pretty sweet. Yeah, a lot of those cars back in the day, the prototypes were out of this world. Um, yeah, and what's funny is when they restore these cars, you wonder how much they put in them. Do they really make the money back? But Fastback 63 is pretty sweet. I saw a rendering of someone that made a fastback out of the 64 like mine, and it looked pretty radical. I like the lines of these roofs, how it's on this side, kind of swoops down. It's weird trying to point at something backwards, but anyway, how the roof kind of swoops down like that. That's my favorite style. And when the windows go all the way down, you get really cool cruising vibe. Yeah, I do tend to like the bigger birds though. The baby birds initially were pretty cool, but if you drive one of the baby birds and then you drive a Cobra, the little two-door roadsters, it's they're very underpowered. I wish they had put more power in the first gen T-Birds. I think they would have been so much cooler if they did. They're just a little underpowered. Yeah, pillarless cars. That's the way to put it. Yeah. It's like some of the old school caddies too were pretty cool. But man, my buddy used to have one of the caddies same year as mine. The car we measured it, it was 2 foot longer than the T Bird, which is just crazy. It was super long. So um, yeah, so I don't know, guys. I think it's kind of interesting that T Birds. I do feel like they're kind of on the upswing for popularity. I definitely feel like they're growing in popularity. It'll be interesting to see what the market does on them in the next couple years. I mean, they're getting old. Like some of these 60s, they're getting old enough to where, I mean, you can't really hate that much stuff in the 60s, period. Um, yeah, I think it does make, you know, the T-Bird, the 64 T-Bird back in the day, I think it was kind of a smaller car, especially compared to the Cadillac. Yeah, yeah, I definitely think so. It's kind of interesting because it's they're huge cars by today's standard. And what's funny is like the back seat of the T-Bird it's not that big. It's it's all trunk and hood. They could have designed the cars a little different with more space inside of them, but nobody cared back then. It was all about style and having actual body lines, which was really I wish they would bring that back because that's cool. The old school styles of cars was just so much better. It wasn't really about safety, which I understand isn't the best thing, but nobody cared about safety. It was all about aesthetics and the space race and all the stuff that looked cool. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, even this car kind of still has a space age feel. The 63 with the rocket booster taillight looking deal. You can definitely see the time and the era and the moon and all that stuff that was going on that time. I mean, it was definitely evident in cars, but what a cool time for vehicles. So cool. And it'll probably never be back, honestly. Vehicles are getting weird. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Please like. I think I'm actually going to drop off. Appreciate you guys watching it. If you're watching after the live, shoot a comment. Yeah, that's right. Rocket ship style. Yeah, it looks like it. But yeah, I think I'm going to drop off, guys. But if you didn't watch the full thing, watch the full thing. But basically, I'm going to start doing more lives, get more interaction. So keep an eye out for it. Hit the bell button next to my channel so you can actually get notified when I start a live. But heck yeah, thanks and cheers. Salute to all the people watching. And Ozzy, that's badass. Yeah, so I don't know what time it is there right now. It's 10:09 at night. It's been wicked hot in Arizona. It finally cools off a little bit at night, but not a lot. What's the weather like out in Aussie? Did you already drop off? I'm getting ready to drop off too, but out in Australia. There's a bunch of car guys in Australia, I think. There's a lot of T-Bird groups out there. All right, guys. I'm going to drop off. Like and subscribe. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Vice Garage Autoblog. Subscribe. 3:09 in the afternoon. We'll rock on. All right, brother. Well, I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching. Check out the videos. I am going to get nice. It's getting warmer there, too. I am going to start doing longer videos with the other T-Bird on my channel, so if you want to check those out. But I do try to put everything in playlists, so if you want to see everything with the 63, you can just watch that car from start to finish. Same as the 64. The original videos started with my 64 behind me. They're pretty rough at the beginning, but I think they've been getting better. But I always appreciate you guys watching, and peace out. See you guys soon.